and we are back for another dose of EastEnders recap, news and making fun of it.
Well, you could have just said the title of the show, which is EastEnders Weekly, the podcast.
Which is EastEnders Weekly, the podcast.
What are we? We're officially unofficial? Is that right?
It's official that we are unofficial.
Mm-hmm.
Been told it multiple times.
You're in a silly mood tonight.
Still getting letters.
Are we? Getting complaints, getting upset.
But we're fine.
Tear-soaked paper comes through our door. It's not the rain from the postman. It's tears from people upset by the comments that we make.
We're still on air.
We are.
And EastEnders are now doing on Instagram this time last year, which upset me deeply. I felt personally attacked.
First they steal our stories, then they steal our plots.
They steal
our ideas. Yeah. Now they steal our ideas on social medias. What will they take from us next, eh? What will they do next? How low will they stoop? Will they do a Martin on us?
We're going to discuss the episodes that were broadcast on BBC One between the 14th and the 18th of October. And who are you?
I'm Alex.
You are the co-host.
The co-host. Still no new vote out yet to see if I'm better than you. I thought maybe...
One vote's enough, isn't it?
No, it's a referendum, Ben.
No.
I want a second vote.
It's a clear-cut winner, and that was me, Ben, the host.
Mm.
So I've got a few things to go through this week. I mean, we have a new duo, which I didn't think I ever thought I needed in my life. Tubbs and Martin.
I mean,
teaming up.
Tubbs was always going to be a strong effort on... in your eyes. The moment he walked on screen, you could feel the
tub.
You could feel the tub of your heart.
Feel the Tubbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dark Martin and Tubbs. Very exciting.
Dark Martin, that sounds like a character from a YouTube video. I'm Dark Martin.
So yeah, he had like a thing this week where he sort of changed as a character. I don't know if it was going to be forever, but he had a moment where he went to the dark side.
We'll have to talk about that in a second. But first of all, we need to do a shout out. Because we have a shout out of the week this week.
Always forget.
Nominated by The Quality Dan.
But he's not the shout out.
But he's not, no. He just nominated 3 shout outs. And so we're going to do one a week. Because you know us, we like to stretch things out to all it's worth. Wear it thin. That's what we like to do.
Got to keep the content
wear
coming.
It thin content. So this week we're shouting out at Team Max Bowden 5, which was a fan account that was created well before he was ever on EastEnders.
Or was it back in Waterloo Road days?
Waterloo Road days, absolutely. It was created by at Han B 1597 and at XX Amy X Pop XX.
2 people run it.
2 people run the page. Yeah, they've got all the news.
That's what we need.
All the Max news. Yeah, it's almost to run our page for us. Please feel free to nominate yourself forward. Yeah, it's a really good page though, actually. I was having a quick peruse this evening before EastEnders starts, and yeah, really great. Real fan account, so you can invest in it with them. If you're a big fan of Max Bowden yourselves, then
they'll post videos of him singing and stuff, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure they will. And videos that you thought you've forgotten. You didn't even remember he'd been on something, and they'll be there, posted on their Twitter page. So, yes, a shout out to at Team Max Bowden 5 and at The Quality Dan. Check them all out on Twitter. Give them a like and say hello from us as well.
Not a follow?
Oh, and a follow, of course, and a follow.
Follow's better than a like.
Yeah, and slip into their DMs.
Like Tubbs.
Yes.
He slips in all over the place.
So, you've started talking about Tubbs, so tell us, what is it you love about Tubbs, Ben?
Wow. He's a man who's hard exterior, but he's soft on the inside, I feel, deep down. And he's got a few life lessons. He's been hurt, I think, in his past. And he's not letting people hurt him anymore. And he's giving that advice on to Martin. So he's like seeing him as a little project that he can build up.
Isn't Martin older than him, though?
That doesn't matter.
Surely he should be someone younger.
No, rewrite the rules. He's like the Yoda of... And Martin's Luke.
Yeah, but Yoda's older than...
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
your analogy is failed.
I mean, I already don't like that he's got a nickname, Tubbs.
I know.
It's like the halfway thing. That annoys me.
Well, yeah, but then if he's going to be there for a long time, then Tubbs will soon be dropped, and we'll be playing games like Where's Tubbs' Hat? Or something like that.
Yeah. He lost lots of weight recently, so...
Who, Tubbs?
Yeah, that's why
he's only been on screen for 2 weeks.
No, he used to be called Tubbs in prison when
right.
Ben met him, and he said when he first introduced that he's lost weight.
Oh, okay.
So we have to make a game on like Tubbs fitness.
Let's get physical with Tubbs. I mean, if people stay tuned, there might be a Tubbs themed game coming up.
Ooh, can't wait.
It's very loosely themed.
Also, blue steely eyes. Got to love them.
Well, I've got those, so
no, but no. Max Bowden has them, and Tubbs has them. That's good.
I have that I've had a few people say that I'm the South Coast version of Max Bowden. These people are my own family.
So yeah, we talk about Martin and Bex and everyone then?
I think we had better.
Rather than just Tubbs?
Yeah, rather than just gush over some character.
I don't think I can say the word Tubbs anymore.
It just reminds me of the League of Gentlemen. I've said this before, the comedy character, Tubbs.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Every time I hear the name. So yes, I agree with you. I hope they do drop it. I mean, they are dropping nicknames now, aren't they? They're not using Dotty. They don't use Halfway.
Sonia called her Dotty this week, though.
She did, but she seemed... I think it was more of a kind of telling off. You know, when... Like, my name's Alex, but if my parents are angry at me, then they use their...
Dotty.
They use my name, Dotty. But they use your full name, don't they? So it's almost like a telling off name, an angry name that you give someone when you're not impressed with them.
How did you enjoy Ben this week?
Yeah, it was fine. I don't think he really did much, to be honest with you. He just kind of brooded around.
It was annoying me.
No, it didn't annoy me particularly.
I didn't like him this week. I didn't like his character. I didn't like the direction. I don't like Gangster Ben. I don't like that part of his story.
It's difficult for me to dislike it because it's never, for me, gets far enough that I feel that he is as dark as his father. Like when Phil got angry, or gets angry...
He did nearly kill Martin a few weeks ago, didn't he? Phil, that is. Before he got hit around the back of the head, he was about to kill Martin.
Well, it was more than a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
About 3 months ago.
So he's a bit darker than Ben, I guess, in that way.
When Phil gets over the edge, his snap is a nasty thing to see. You know, when Hunter slept with Louise, he went straight to the cupboard, knew where the baseball bat was, and was storming out the house. While with Ben, I don't think Ben's very calculated, and so unfortunately he doesn't, by association, can't have this kind of angry streak either. He likes to think he's clever and smart and a bit miserable and moody.
No, he's not.
I mean, Callum kept saying to him throughout the week, he's like, oh, I know you, Ben. And I know you well enough that you're not that kind of nasty person that you try to make yourself out to be.
I mean, how well does Callum know Ben?
Well,
does he know that he's doing all these things?
Well, he's obviously very unaware of it.
He's just at home making tea in the kettle.
Well, no, he's busy.
Ben coming home?
Callum is starting up a little family in his head, isn't he? When Lexi wanted a puppy, and Ben was like, oh, we'll see what we can do. Oh, yeah. And Callum kind of shook his head and was like, oh, family.
Wonder what they'll get. What dog?
Oh, probably a cockapoo.
Oh, yeah, the gay dog. Yeah.
No, that's not a gay dog. It's just a horrible dog.
Oh, cockapoo, no. What Ben and Callum will get is a Frenchie.
Oh, yeah.
Every gay man has a Frenchie.
He's loved the Frenchies.
So they're probably one of them. A grey one.
But as with a white chest. And then they'll take those photos and put it on Instagram.
Other faults in this storyline for me.
Oh, you're not happy with the storyline then, I take it?
No, I don't like the storyline. I hate gangster storylines anyway, but those are annoying. But the other faults in the storyline is with Martin and how Ben has this hold on him for no real reason, and he phones Stacey and he's like, you can't come home, Stacey. And it's like, actually, Martin, Stacey could come home. It's you that needs to just go.
Yeah, I think though that Ben would make Stacey's life hell. I think Ben has shown that he's basically got this hold on Martin and that he will...
He doesn't have anything on Stacey anymore.
Well, he does, because he has that on Martin. So by association, he has a hold on Stacey. So he can still use Stacey against Martin.
It all feels very...
Like someone's pregnant and they've just had a child.
Yeah, it's like...
And they're on maternity leave.
But yeah, I was not here for Martin being like this evil brute.
I don't mind. I genuinely don't. When he snapped, on the episode when he proper snapped, so after he had that chat with Tubbs, and Tubbs was practically saying to him, you can't let people walk over you. He paid off that weak debt for the old lady, and then when he sees the young woman who's pregnant with the black eye, feels sorry for her. It was at that moment when he snapped, because he realised he'd been tricked by her as well.
Yeah, she's a right old witch, wasn't she?
And the words had rattled through his head instantly of what Tubbs had said. It's like, you can't let people walk on you. And yeah, that was just like the moment that Martin just didn't want anyone to...
Wait. Ben said to him, you can't let people walk over you because he paid off that old woman. How come Ben can just let Karen off then? He's been walked over by Karen.
Because Karen made a jumper with...
Well, the old woman's washing her windows.
Yeah, but she's not washing Ben's windows, is she? So if the old woman had knitted Ben, say, a scarf, because it's getting chilly out...
Or a hat for Callum.
Yeah, a new hat for Callum. Then I'm sure Ben wouldn't even think twice of giving her a week off, a lenient week off. But she hasn't, because that old woman is selfish.
It was really the pregnant fourth Lucy Bill that tipped Martin over the edge.
They are casting a lot of Lucy Bills, aren't they?
Do you think she was one of the extras from a while ago who did the premonitions with Bobby, and they were like, we'll just keep you on an extra week and give you a baby bump. No one will notice.
You've been contracted for another month, so we might as well use you. Why not?
But yeah, she was a bit horrible, and then those guys ganged up on them all, and
well, it was a plan, wasn't it? It was a setup. So they had all set up, ready for... But then, this is what was weird for me. If her husband was part of a gang... presumably he has some kind of strong arm with dealing with trouble his own way, kind of mafia style, then why does he need to loan money from Ben Mitchell, who has only just started doing the loan shark business?
Yeah, where did this loaning money come from anyway?
Well, yes, also, where's this money come from that he's now loaning to people left, right and centre?
1 minute he's doing these like fake cars, and then he's doing like some sort of chicken shops thing.
Yeah.
I don't know where any of this even come from.
Well, I'm guessing this
and
is
now
where
he's
the
got all this
coming
money
from.
that he's loaning to people.
Well,
he's got his name out quite broad, like to this old woman, to Karen.
Well, he's got Tubbs
possibly
running.
Big Mo.
He's got Tubbs running the loan shark business part. He's still running the garage, the car business.
With Keanu.
No, Keanu's got nothing to do with it.
Oh, has he left now?
No, Keanu works in the Mitchells.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
No, the car lot.
Oh yeah, of course he's got that.
He's running the car lot. The garage is Phil's domain. Well, Phil/Sharon, when Sharon can be bothered to get herself sorted. And, so he has, I guess and the chicken shop is the joint venture with Phil. So presumably he is making money. I mean, these chicken shops, this is also a very ominous thing. I mean, is this chicken shop, is this a disguise for something else? Is it an illegal, I don't know, gambling?
Parlour.
Yeah, when you have
with Tubbs.
Happy ending. Happy ending with Tubbs. It's just all very odd how he's like, 3-4 months ago, Phil was bankrupt. And he was running out of
desperate for money.
Yeah, he had no money because he'd given up like his last few pounds to Shane Ritchie, and now he's like all of a sudden flush with money again. I mean, I know that the Slaters have given him the money back, but I mean,
not that much though.
Well, and also Ben's not that savvy with what exactly that whole situation was about either. It was very much a deal between Phil, Shirley, and Kat. So I don't know. It's just very
all over the place. Like. The whole Ben character he's like two different characters that they've just merged into one person. Like he has his life with Callum and like his I'm proud and I'm going to help you come out and we're all going to have pride episodes dedicated to us. I'm going to get beaten by Stuart for being gay. And then you have like this other weird side where he's like a gangster and he's threatening old women and taking money. It's like, are you meant to root for Ben? You meant to hate him? Like they throw in Lexi every now and then to make you love him again, but then he does something horrible to Martin and then buys Bex a wreath of her death. Like, it's all over the place.
I don't know, it's difficult with me for Ben because I actually don't mind the character of Ben.
No, I like Ben, I like the actor.
Yeah.
It's just very messy, his like direction.
I don't know. For me, I don't see it as being that messy. To me, it makes sense that Ben is this dark side, and I can see the future of it with Callum will be that Callum is unaware of this side of Ben. He's still seeing him through these rose-tinted glasses of that he's helping him out of his sexuality and letting him go.
Are Callum and Ben going to make it then as a couple?
I mean, wouldn't it be boring though? And at me, all the Ballum fans out there, but don't you think it would be a bit boring if it was always just Ben and Callum, and that was his story, that he's now in a happy gay relationship with Callum, and it's all flowers and rainbows? For me, that would be really boring, and I want Ben to be a bit more. I want Ben to be a Mitchell. I want him to be a Mitchell. I'd much rather that. I just.
Well, Callum could be the Sharon.
Well, that's what I mean, and that's what we want. We need the next generation of Phil and Sharon. We need, like, in 20 years' time, Callum to be running around the house looking for Ben's passport because they need to get out of the country quick because Ben's done something wrong.
Yeah. So, very all over the place with Ben, I'm afraid.
We should also go to Martin's other story, which is when...
the sensible side of the story.
His concern over Bex, and Bex is constantly on watch, isn't she? Sonia sleeps outside her door.
I know.
And whenever Bex is doing anything, like just sitting in the kitchen eating toast, you just see them both just staring at her, like watching her. And I don't know if she's aware of it.
It's a bit like The Simpsons when Michael Jackson and Bart are watching Lisa from the tree house into her room, and she looks sad, and she goes, I know, I'm aware that you're watching me, but even if you weren't watching me, I'd still be sad. That's what Bex is like.
Yeah. Exactly.
She's knowingly that Sonia's all over the place. But I mean, Sonia's not been, she mentioned university again. Are you going, Bex, or not?
Well, no, Stuart was the one who brought that up, to be fair to him. And then Bex brought it back up in front of Sonia later on. Said that she's going to
have a bi-year or whatever.
Yeah, she's going to not go there for a year and then think about doing it. So she's having a gap year, but she's having a gap year in Walford.
And Sonia, she looked like, oh... And it's like, no, Sonia, please hide your feelings a bit better. It looks like you're disappointed with Bex. And Martin's not really been there for him because he's got all this Ben stuff. So there's all these like appointments he's meant to be going to.
Yeah, the therapy sessions at the hospital, and he keeps missing them. And Sonia's understandably very upset with him for just not bothering. Well, in her eyes, not bothering. And he's lying all the time to Sonia.
And she's having to do work at home with Martin and stitches.
Well, yes, she had to use her degree. She had to use her qualification. Yeah, she had to use her qualification in medicine,
which made me laugh because like she was stitching him up it was morning when she started, and it was nighttime when she finished.
It took a long time.
It's like 4 stitches, Sonia. Come on.
If you're going to do a job right, do it properly. You know.
Well, Mel did it. She was done in about 10 minutes when she did it to Hunter.
Well, yeah, she doesn't have that medical background. And she was sewing people up all left, right, and centre.
That's where Martin should have went. Knocked on Mel's door.
Yeah. Give me a bottle of vodka and a needle, and I'll be with you in 10 minutes.
Much better than Sonia. 8 hours later, I've done one job.
Yeah, well, she's a perfectionist. She can't be angry at Sonia for that, and she well deserved to sit in front of the TV that evening as well, just to enjoy herself and getting Martin chucked out.
I mean, it's nice to see Martin and Sonia like have scenes together because you kind of forget that they have this massive history, kind of because this Martin, James Bye, was never really cast when Sonia and Martin were like a thing, was he?
No.
So you haven't really had. But they have this massive history together.
And they do, to be fair, all 3 of them as well. Bex, I think the Bex, Sonia Martin scenes on Friday were some of the best scenes I've seen in a long time with all 3 of those actors.
Yeah. Lacey Turner who?
Yeah, exactly. She can stay away as well. Let her do her phone acting. That's all she needs to do.
She's done loads of them, isn't she?
Yeah, little tidbits of
getting a bit bored of them now, actually.
Well,
too many.
Martin's getting bored of it too. She was like, "Oh, shut up, Stacey. I'm leaving. I've got to sell some fruit and veg."
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's really sweet because Bex was apologising again, saying it's all my fault. I'm sorry. And Martin was the first one to say it's not your fault, and I'm so sorry, and I'm so angry. Again, he could see he started to cry, and he was devastated that he's put this guilt upon Bex that she's now blaming herself for the fact that Martin's not being there for her.
He just wants a simple life, doesn't he, Martin?
He doesn't. He actually, I think he just wants to fight. He is his father's son. He wants to fight for his family, and he'll do anything for them. And unfortunately, he's taking so many wrong directions to get to that ultimate goal that it's just almost painful to watch him just break down in front of them.
You know what Lou Bill would say? Great grandma Lou Bill. Got the weight of the world on your shoulders, Martin.
But that's what Dr. Leg would say, and he did. Do you know who was a really bad friend? Someone who made it all about her.
Yes. Surprise.
All about her. So Martin asks Louise, Louise, you've got a friend just over the road. She needs some help. Perhaps you could visit?
Yeah, once maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It's been a week now. Just a phone call, a text, a DM. But no.
And she sits on her sofa, doesn't she, in a certain way? She's done that since she was about 2 weeks pregnant, Louise. The way she sits on the sofa and holds her non-existent bum with her hair blow dried, makeup done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, and she made it about herself, and I don't feel sorry for you, Louise. Like, she was like, I don't know what to say to her.
Yeah, she had a chat with Lisa. And it just made it all about herself. She was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say around her. Very upsetting.
This pregnancy's not working wonders for Louise.
She has moments. Everyone said this word of the week moments. She has moments when she is just brilliant, and then she has other moments when she is just normal Louise and just thinks about herself.
But yeah, we couldn't forget about Princess Louise because that was just traumatizing.
You were traumatized by it, weren't you?
No, she
I wasn't traumatized.
I just knew.
I was just miffed and couldn't be bothered to care.
Yeah, she wouldn't bother to go see, but she did see her in the end. And they hugged, and she kind of made it about herself again, and that was that.
Well, yeah, she went over there and said, like, I'd come over, I just wanted to see if you're okay, and then she's like, I just don't know what to say around you. And Specs is like, well, you don't have to think of anything in particular, just be my friend. She's like, yeah, I'll be your friend.
Do you know I'm pregnant?
yeah, by the way, I'm pregnant. Oh, it really hurts. Feel sorry for me, Bex. But then, since that day, not visited again since.
No,
so,
once a week.
Nice one, Louise. Gold star.
Right, so let's move on because there's a new madman on the square. And Gray says, watch out, that guy's a bit weird. To Karen. Yeah, it's like, okay, well, if Gray thinks you're a bit intense and weird, then what the hell is going to happen?
Pot calling the kettle grey, some might say.
But yeah, Leo steps it up this week on his creepy factor, didn't he?
His eyes. He's really, insanely tense and...
he loves social media.
He likes following people on social media to the fact that he follows them to the spot that they are at. I mean, Whitney really is an endorsement for just be careful.
Privacy settings.
Yeah, exactly. Just be careful with exactly what you share on your social media.
I bet Whitney has like 4,000 friends on Facebook.
Yeah,
like,
and they're
upsets everyone.
Exactly. They're not even real friends. They're probably like, Joe from the Saudi Emirates and all that. And she probably gets lots of messages asking them for £20,000, and she's probably stupid enough to send it. Or she just sends like one of her t-shirts from her stall. They're not selling, so I'll send you one.
Yeah, Leo, he's such a light. He was like, "Oh yeah, your stuff's great, Whitney. Maybe you could dress me up for my job interview." It's like, no, if you get Whitney to dress you up, then you're not going to get a job.
I mean, Whitney did get in trouble also a few weeks back by posting pictures of Chantelle on her social media, her own shop page. So she got in trouble once already with Gray for posting those in the first place. So she should know better than to post random stuff of what she's doing.
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm just having a fry up at the cafe. I'm just having a drink down E20. I'm vulnerable and weak. Come find me.
But it was very interesting the way they're doing this Leo thing, because we didn't. We know he's weird. We know he's Tony King's son. We know that he's out to get his father's innocence because he doesn't believe what Whitney had told in the past about being abused by him. And there were like little hints where he was like, he keeps trying to get her drunk and loosen her lips a bit. And
that's not something you tag on Facebook.
No. And so he's trying to get her to like open up
right. Yeah.
to him about it. And she almost mentions something about her past in E20.
Yes.
How something happened with a man, and
which has ruined her now relationship since with Lee and with Callum.
Yeah, and she mentions how Tiff is too young and she's all confused. And he goes, "Yeah, kids don't really know what happens when they're young," like hinting to her that he's after some digging. But like he keeps getting interrupted, doesn't he?
Well, he does. He gets interrupted by Callum, who is concerned by her drunken escapades because she obviously had too much to drink. She's trying to show off. She's trying to show Callum that I'm over you. When Callum and Ben go in for everyone says their first date, but
I know first official date. It's like what?
Nah,
we've seen them on like 4 dates.
To me, I think their first date was on the playground.
Oh yeah, that was their first.
That was
date.
a hell of a date as well. Really intense.
Yeah, 5 stars. And he also invited him for like a beer in the Vic as well already. So we've already seen all these dates before.
But why aren't they going to the Albert?
No
poor
wonder.
Kathy. I know. It's just got the reputation now, hasn't it, as a drug den. So no one wants to hang around there anymore.
No.
But Tina has a lot to answer for when she gets back from her 4-week holiday.
Kathy's stuck in a cafe all week, and her big venture is going downhill. No one's there. Ikra's not there. Ash isn't there. Habib is not there.
It's the curse of the Dagmar. That place will forever be cursed.
She'll set it on fire, won't she?
Yeah, for the insurance claim.
Throw a match in. It was Den.
Yeah, the ghost of.
But so Leo's doing his like online stalking, and he notices because Callum comes to talk to Whitney and like says, "I do love you. I want to look out for you. You're my friend." She tries to kiss him in a drunken state.
I know, but Whitney did show that she's not actually quite as over as she first made out.
It's because Callum's such a nice guy. You can't get over him.
Yeah, but she's been hurt. She's been scalded yet again, and I think she said herself she just needs a rest now. She's not ready for a relationship.
So she
anymore.
dates Leo.
Well, no, that she said that to Leo, and so she's now come to the realization that now she doesn't want this relationship, and now Leo's really wound up. Yeah,
it's all Callum's fault.
Well, Callum's broken his plan, so now he's on the social media again. Looking really intense on his phone.
Yeah, on Callum's social media. Again, very open.
Yeah, fairly open, really. But then I suppose if Leo is already friends with Whitney, so he's going to see all the posts that Whitney's tagged in.
Because they're still good friends. Whitney and Callum.
They've still got posts from a few months back.
On their wedding day.
Yes, exactly, of the wedding day. I'm surprised there wasn't like a photo of like the shooting as well with Hunter. It's like, I'm okay. You know when Facebook has that I'm okay button? It's like,
at the siege.
The Walford shooting, yeah. I'm okay. Don't worry, Louise has gone outside. I'm okay.
It's nice to know they're still Facebook friends, so that's nice.
That's a true friend. A Facebook friend is your true friend.
And they're still tagged in their couple photos.
Yeah.
So they're all good.
But I feel sorry for Whitney because I think she's put on this brave face. She's put the slap on, put on this brave face, trying to show everyone that she's okay, and she's really not. And
she jumped in too quick. It's like Tiff said to her, didn't she? Like,
yes,
you've done this too quickly, and she's right.
And she had that lovely chat with Stuart as well at the end of the Friday's episode when she talks. And Stuart says, love makes you do some crazy things. And it really hurts, and it never gets better. And Whitney's like, I hope it gets better soon. And it was really sweet. I thought that was a nice scene.
I hope they don't have like a weird one-night stand, Whitney and Stuart.
Oh no, but they have an affair.
Not an affair, just a one-night stand. Like, I don't want that to happen.
I don't think Whitney
I had
would.
vibes of
I
it,
think
no.
she's always got that in the back of her mind that she still doesn't really trust Stuart.
But how does she not notice that Leo's a complete weirdo? Because he was being weird, like, right to her face.
But and also Tiff writes it out and explains it to her.
Oh, yeah, in the cafe. Yeah.
So he was at your wedding. And he
was at your honeymoon.
He was at your honeymoon. He followed you to the square so he knew where you lived. You know, do you not think that there's more than just a little bit of a coincidence of all these things happening?
That's what we've been saying. This storyline doesn't... This Bianca issue has created so many plot holes. Just for having Bianca back for like 6 episodes, it wasn't worth it.
Oh, but someone messaged us and said that Bianca's been spied on and Patsy Palmer has been seen to be in London again.
Nah.
No?
No.
No.
Don't believe it.
It'd be nice if she came back. Even a video call. Just do a video call.
Or a phone call like Lacey Turner.
Yeah.
She's there just as a baby.
She doesn't even have to come to the UK to do that. She can do it over water. She'll be fine. Perfect.
I mean, where is Bianca?
I can't remember.
Do we know? Do we care? Is she going to go to Tiff and Keegan's wedding, maybe? Are we not going to bother?
When do you think... Well, this is another thing. Tiff and Keegan... Well, we'll talk about that Tiff and Keegan later. But yes.
But where is Bianca?
Didn't she... I can't remember. She did say why she was going again. But it was so... just fly... Yeah, just I can't remember. If you guys remember where they went, just get in touch with us.
Well, they went for a spa weekend, and then Tiff came back and Bianca didn't.
No. I don't think they ended up going to that spa weekend.
They did, because she wanted to get away from Leo. That was the whole point of Whitney going on honeymoon and Tiff going.
Yes.
But so maybe she's at the spa still.
Okay. Maybe she bought the spa and just decided to run it. Crazier things have happened.
And there was a last thing at the end of the episode when he was looking at Callum's Facebook. Gray knew him and said that he came for a interview at his firm. So
he was very intense and he was very much a freedom fighter kind of interview.
It went on for about an hour apparently.
Do you reckon
it lasts a long time?
Yeah, he's got the stamina. Do you reckon he was indirectly talking about his father's case when he was doing the interview?
I mean, maybe like a weird, he's one of those people who against female empowerment and women have too much rights. Maybe he's one of those weirdos.
And so maybe Gray then... But then Gray disagreed with him.
Yeah, but Gray's got an outside shell, hasn't he?
Yeah, but no, you could tell when he was talking to Karen, he was serious when he said it. He said he was very intense. So if he was intense for Gray...
Exactly.
Then that's a worrying sign.
I mean, Tiff's worked it out. She's worked out the year-long storyline for Whitney.
Tiff really showed some maturity this week. But again, we'll talk about that later.
I don't know. Is he going to hurt Callum? What's his plan? Because obviously Callum's getting in the way of Whitney. So Leah's going to bump Callum off.
Maybe. I think he's got more mind games to play.
I wonder what he's going to do.
I don't think Leo's the kind of guy who does the physical violence.
No, online. He'll troll him.
No, No. I think, well, I kind of know, but I don't want to say it. But I don't think it will be...
Can't you theorise?
Well, no, I can't because I know. Because I know.
Sake. What's the point in this whole show then?
You know what? We've been told not to release spoilers too often.
Still theorise.
Well, my theory is that he will find some dirt on Callum and use it against him to make Whitney move away from Callum's affections. There we go. That's my theory.
Affections.
Affections as in friendship, not affections as in sexuality.
What kind of dirt would he have though?
I don't know,
What could
Ben.
it possibly be?
It could be absolutely anything. Shall we move on?
Okay. Yeah. So we're going on to a new game, which is devised by you.
Yes! Oh, it's a good game. It works so well on the audio format.
Oh, we'll see what it is then.
Want to play a game, Ben? Want to play a game with me?
What game, though? Because you won't tell me what it is.
I know, it's a brand new game to the podcast, and it's called Top Tubs.
Tubbs has his own game, does he?
He has his own game because he is infinitely better than the new brothers that are being introduced. And
beautiful eyes I've seen online.
Yeah. And he dresses well, and he's just, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Has a sense of authority around him.
Yep. You feel safe in him around around him. And it doesn't reflect on the game because it's basically a parody of the game Top Trumps.
Ooh.
But it's called Top Tubs.
Oh, I see. I've never played that before.
Okay, so let me explain the rules to anyone who's never played it before, i.e. Ben, and also any of the listeners. So basically, Ben and I will have 10 cards each, so there'll be 10 different rounds. The cards are actually laid in front of us at the moment. It's going to be split into two sections. We've got the 20 cards in front of us, and in a minute I'm going to ask Ben to pick his 10, and 10 that left I'm going to have. And then using the top card, we're going to then find a statistic, final position, best score, worst score, aggregate or total score, and average score, because these are 20 people from EastEnders who have been on Strictly Come Dancing.
Ooh, Kathy's in there then.
Maybe. And you have to beat the other player's score. And
from what they got on Strictly.
Exactly. But you get to choose a category. So we take turns on who chooses the category. And then that person has to... So you have to pick a category which has quite a high score on your card. Do you see?
Yes.
And you must do it in the order of which you picked your cards. Okay. As you are the guest of the game, you get to pick your 10 cards now. So go ahead.
10 at once?
All 10 at once, but don't show me any of them. Ben is literally picking the 10 cards that are nearest to him. This is the laziest I've ever seen. Well done. Right.
Yeah, well. No, I need to look at these, though, not they are.
No, you don't. You have to do them in the order that you picked them. Okay, so do you have your 10 cards?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to start, and what I want you to do is say the name, the character name, and then what category you're choosing, but don't give the number. Just the category you're choosing, and then I'll tell you mine, and then we can see who's won each round.
What's an aggregate?
Aggregate, total score.
Oh.
So these are basically the positions and the scores that they got on Strictly Come Dancing.
Okay.
And they're all actors from EastEnders. That's the link.
Mine's Spencer Moon.
Played by?
Christopher Parker.
Okay, and what are you choosing?
The one I just said. Aggregate. The total score is what I'm going for.
You think that's going to be your best one on that card?
What's the highest number?
Well, it doesn't matter. No. You have to think about other...
Oh, okay, I'm going to do position then.
Position. Okay. I've got Letitia Dean. Sharon Mitchell / Watts. So position, she came 4th.
Mine came 2nd.
So you win that round. So round 1 goes to Ben. So you can discard that card now. Get rid of it.
Don't like Spencer Moon.
So it's my turn to choose now. So I've got Cara Toynton, who played Dawn Swan.
Ugh.
And I'm going to... there's a few good ones on my card, actually. It's a very strong card. It's almost a gold card. I'm going to choose Best Score.
Okay, well, I've got Kevin Wicks, who's played by Phil Daniels. Didn't know he did it. Do I say the best score?
Yep, so who's your best score?
20.
Now I've got 39.
Dear.
So I've won. I've run round 2. That's 1 point each. This is thrilling.
It is.
Your turn.
I don't even know who this is. Ray Dixon played who is Charles Venn.
Yeah, he was more famous for being in Casualty.
Oh.
But he was in EastEnders.
Okay. Sure he was. I'm gonna go with average score.
Oh, average score. I've got Jill Halfpenny, who famously won Strictly Come Dancing, who played Kate Mitchell / Morton. Mm-hmm. So her average score was 33.6.
Mine's 29.7.
Oh, yes. Round 3 to Alex.
That's not fair, 'cause I don't know who he is. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh, okay.
So no, it's not.
Where's my turn to choose the thing? Okay. So hope that I choose one that's good for you. I've got Louisa Layton, famous Ruby Allen. I am going to go with worst score, because she had quite a high worst score. So what's yours?
Mine is Kat Slater. Jessie Wallace. Her worst score was 19.
Mine was 26. So again, round 4 goes to me. So this is the last round of this section of the game of Top Tubs.
God. Sorry, just seeing who I have. Oh, do I get to choose?
Yes, your choice.
I'm going to do position then. My favourite.
Who's the character?
Oh, Jack Branning.
Scott Marsland. Oh, so I've got Kelly Bright, who plays Linda Carter.
She came like 2nd.
So you said position?
Yeah.
Yeah, she came 2nd.
Oh, he's 4th.
I have got 4 points, and Ben has 1 point.
Yeah, 1.
So
by Spencer Moon as well, which is like the worst.
So stay tuned next week, for you will hear the outcome of who will win EastEnders Strictly Come Dancing Top Tubs.
Well, I don't think I can wait for part 2 of that game, but we must. So we're going to quickly talk about the new young love, So Adult. Keegan's finally lost his virginity, and he looked extremely happy afterwards.
Yeah, he did. He looked a bit like Callum when he lost his virginity. Yeah.
There's some warning signs here.
Yeah. Oh no.
So yeah, how do they get into this hotel room? Because Tiff just tells Keegan that she's ready, takes the relationship to the next level. They just need to find somewhere to be alone. They could have used the allotment shed, I guess.
Oh,
that's where people normally
dirty. Go. If you want to do your first time, you don't want to
Martin
do
went there.
It wasn't their first time, though, was it?
So he did it all up with candles and stuff.
No, he didn't, because
he did once.
Oh, well, how many times have they had sex in that shed?
Quite a lot.
Have they?
Yeah.
They had sex in the back of the fruit and veg van.
Oh yeah, because it's sort of sprouted.
They had sex on Dot's kitchen table.
Yeah.
You sure it's been more than once? Because all I remember is Ted covered the urn eyes.
More times than
that.
Because
she might see.
No, there's lots of times they've been in there. It's Martin's go-to place, so I guess Keegan and Tiff want their own special place.
Well, Keegan wanted to do it back at the Taylor house because no one was meant to be in, but Cameron was babysitting because Chantelle and Gray decided to have a night out.
Because they're celebrating because he's cleared of Detective Jack.
Well, she doesn't know that he's cleared though. She just thinks that he's being, kind and loving and excited about them having the baby.
Not a chance.
No, God, that will change. As soon as Karen gives their children ice cream and they throw up all over the sofa.
I know, they're so rubbish children nowadays. Why are they throwing up? Bit of ice cream.
They get given a little treat, just a little bit of ice cream. I'm sure Karen wouldn't have shared that much of the ice cream with them because Karen's quite greedy.
Because Billy did that to his kids, didn't he? He gave them some pick and mix to take down Adam, and they puked up then as well.
Yes, but then this is Billy, and Billy probably did give them too many sweets on that occasion because Billy doesn't have a threshold. But I don't think that's a big tub of ice cream. Karen was already about halfway into it.
Exactly, she had most of it.
I was going to say, so if anyone's going to be sick, Karen should have been the one who's going to be sick. She should have been the one phoning up and saying, maybe she was sick as well as the kid, and was like, oh, they've all been sick. Just come over and clean it up. I'm not going to bother. See ya.
Yeah, that got rid of Keegan and Tiff's plans to do it there.
Well, no, they weren't going to do it at Chantelle and Gray's house.
The Taylors, yeah.
But they weren't going to do it at the Taylors either because...
Oh, weren't they?
No, because Tiff said that she didn't really feel like it felt like the right place, the right time to do it. And then when they saw Chantelle and Gray, it's a dirty squat, that place.
Too many pot noodles.
Well, also Callum and Rainie are probably there.
Oh yeah, and the
listening
dog.
With a glass next to the wall. So Chantelle and Gray's got the hotel room. Keegan has a quick word in their ear. Yeah, go ahead, have it. We've paid for it. It's a nice
do you think
hotel.
He asked just Gray, or do you think he asked Chantelle and Gray?
Oh, he asked both.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think he just asked Gray.
Or they're like men, go on here, get your seed through. Yeah.
Because Gray.
No,
that's disgusting. I don't want to think about Keegan's
men.
I think he just asked Gray because Gray likes Keegan asking him things and looking up to him, doesn't he? So...
Well, then that's true.
Do you have any tips, Gray?
But then I think Chantelle likes that Keegan's that way inclined too. That he likes to see Gray as a role model for him.
Better than Mitch.
Oh, Mitch is no role model. Even when Mitch is trying to be good, like the scenes with, again, we'll talk about it.
I hate him.
With Linda and Mick,
Yeah, I hate Mitch. Awful character. But yeah, they go to the posh hotel and it's like the best suite because it's the one that Gray got, and they have their own dressing gowns and they have room service.
I know, they really fitted into them quite quickly, didn't they? They really went into the we are rich kind of scenario quite quickly.
Young couple had sex for the first time and he thought, you know what? I'm going to ask you to marry me.
Well, all over a juicy burger because they both decided that the food was that good. It's like the best food. Did you get this in the chicken shop?
Yeah, so that was their big idea. And we do know that Tiff's dad, Ricky, did similar things with Sam. Mm-hmm. They went off, got married very young.
They eloped.
So it's in the family, it's in the butcher way.
It's in the DNA.
She's going to be running over someone next year in a car and she'll be 100% butcher.
Yeah, why not?
On the way to the wedding.
By the time she turns her 60, she'll have earrings drooping down to her knees.
She could wear Pat's earrings that she gave her on her deathbed
for the wedding day.
That's what she needs to do.
If anyone from EastEnders is listening, please do that as a continuity
whip out
point.
those earrings.
Yeah, because she gave them to Tiffany as a
and when she was dying.
Goodbye present. A scene that never should have happened.
Favourite pair.
It was. Oh my goodness. I hope they do that. I really do.
Last week when Ben was dressed up, when Lexi dressed him as the princess, he was wearing Pat's earrings, I think, then, that Lexi put on him.
Where would they have got Pat's earrings?
God knows. Pat's related to everyone, isn't she? Somewhere.
I suppose she does have a link with Ian through Wixie.
Yeah, and Kathy and Ben and Phil. Yeah.
Pete. And Pete. Oh. Pete Bill. Well, Pete was married to Pat. There you go. Maybe Ian was also one of Pat's offspring.
But yeah, that would be good at the wedding. She needs to wear one of those Pat's earrings. They were pink as well, so it's all good.
But I would be up for that.
But all the adults are like, don't think it's ready. They think they're rushing into it. Not good for them. Even though everyone on EastEnders gets married at like 17 anyway, so it's not that different.
DIC Jack, Dick Jack. He's come up with a great idea. And
he's like really proud of himself.
Yeah. Let's pretend that we're all on board with the idea. Then they'll all feel comfortable, and then we'll tell them we're not, and then we'll take them away. Yeah, because they're thicker than what I am.
It's like something you have on like some sitcom from like Nickelodeon. That is.
I'm glad that you've honoured it even that higher praise. I say a sitcom you see on YouTube.
Was Jack doing it knowing that like he was pretending to be on like Sonia's side, but really he knows what Tiff's going through and he was double bluffing the adults and making it all okay for Tiff?
No, I think he was genuinely upset.
Do you think?
Yeah,
because he invited them to live at his house.
Yeah, because I think he thought he could keep an eye on them.
Plus, he's only got Max to live with, so...
Yeah, and that'd be a headache as well.
Oh,
just having to
I'd
listen
be
to
inviting
that
everyone
whine
over.
all night. Do you reckon Max has just got a constant tone?
You just hear him scuffering his shoes everywhere.
And every time he talks, you go... It's like a tinnitus, a Max tinnitus. It's just constant... Just so annoying. But Keegan did show that his maturity, because when he gave a speech to Tiff about Whitney and that, you know, sometimes love can do crazy things and you just have to let them get on and make their own mistakes.
He knows he's had sex once.
He's a man of the house. All he needs is a pipe and some slippers and he would be there. Good Keegan. But no, he was quite right, and Jack took on board his advice, smiled, little wry smile.
Very unlike Jack.
Yeah.
2019 Jack's getting there.
He's modernising. From a year ago when he was driving around the square going with his car that he rented, he's gone up in estimations.
Do you think Denise is going to be upset that he's invited Tiff and Keegan to live there, but not her?
Yeah, no, I don't think Denise is ready for that step.
No, plus Max. I wouldn't live there. Right, the other mini storyline we have is the miniature Carters, which always have a mini storyline every week.
Which, because we always have to be reminded that Mick still exists. You know, if we forgot that Mick was still on the square, then I think the world would collapse around Walford.
I'm just not here for the Carters at the moment. I'm so anti-Carters. I'm even anti-Linda at the moment. Well, it's all just...
I know why you're saying this, and do you mind if I indulge and let the listeners know? Because pretty much all week you've been saying to me that... How is Linda?
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. Right. But
so Linda's
spoilers.
Okay, so spoiler, everyone. If you don't want
upcoming storyline.
Yes. So if you don't want to hear, maybe skip forward about 2 minutes. This is going to be a long one. So Linda is going to. Okay, they're gone. So Linda is going to have an alcohol problem. So she's going to become very dependent on alcohol.
Yes, right.
On the week that we found out about this,
little
Stuart is drinking bottles of vodka around the cafe and getting drunk over being upset over Rainie.
Yes.
Whitney is drinking full bottles of wine and getting drunk in E20 by
cocktails.
Being upset about Callum. And Karen's drinking her troubles away as well by being in the pub because Bailey's upset with her. So how are we able to... And Mitch. So how are we able to pick out one person with an alcohol problem in Walford when there's numerous people with alcohol problems in Walford? There's Max with alcohol problems, let's be honest.
I think it seems so silly how they're like they're saying we're going to tackle this alcohol drinking problem with Linda, and like when Mick came back from the hospital, she was a bit stressed and she poured herself a shot, and like the camera lingered on her for a bit, but like Mitch was in the background and he had 2 shots ready to go.
Yeah, he was drinking just as much as she was.
And Rainie goes into Minute Mart and grabs a bottle of vodka and throws change it honey and
Shirley drinks
Sharon
from the bottle. Sharon drinks a glass of wine. The only reason she's not drinking at the moment is because she's pregnant, but as soon as that baby's out she'll be right back on it again.
I mean, Mel's drinking gin bottles by the 6th load.
You're right, by the crate.
It's just so funny how they then make us like linger on Linda having a shot. It's like because
it's really strange, isn't it? And it doesn't really make any sense. And to
really, she's drinking the least out of everyone.
Yeah, she really is. And to pick one person, I mean, the only way they could make it redeeming is perhaps they then explore the story for why she's doing this. And anyone who's tuned back in, we're now ignoring what we just said. And basically, Linda is upset because she feels like that everyone is needing her help, and she doesn't quite. She's trying to help out too many people at too many times.
Is she?
Yeah, I think so. So she's trying to make sure Ollie's okay. She's trying to make sure Mick's okay.
I thought it was like to do with her not being popular with the mummy friends.
Well, no, there's another stress in her mind. So there's lots of different things that she's got. She's trying to juggling lots of plates at once. So this week, another plate that she has to juggle is that Mick has severe anxiety still, and so he's going to see the doctor. And Linda puts it down to her. You know, the whole when really it is Stuart's fault essentially why this is all crumbled apart.
Did you notice when he came back from the hospital, Mitch like said, "I'm glad that's all sorted," and Mick was like. Yeah, me too, but it kind of isn't. And then she was like kind of tipsy, drinking problem. Yeah. And and she like hurries him upstairs for like, you know what,
sexy
upstairs.
Times, yeah.
And it doesn't seem like he's too into it. So wondering whether like this anxiety is having like a libido effect on him.
Oh, so he's not able to perform.
Yeah. He had that before, didn't he? When he was back out of prison for a bit. So I'm wondering if they're hinting at
that's
that.
because he wouldn't trust Linda, but I think this is more psychological perhaps than he can't perform. I mean,
there's just so much going on with the Carters with two characters, Linda and Mick.
Well, Mitch did say also to Linda that Mick feels emasculated. So that's another thing that's a burden on Linda's mind.
Probably because of the things Mitch keeps saying to him.
But this is the thing, isn't it? This is what Mitch does. Mitch is the one who's constantly going on about
lad jokes.
Yeah, don't let Linda chat you down. Who wears the trousers in the pub? And it's like, oh, shut up, Mitch. So he's actually just escalating the problem further too.
But it just seems silly because we've got the Ollie being autistic. We've got Mick with his anxiety problems. Now we've got Linda's new storyline. It's so much like, why didn't they give Linda's new storyline to Shirley, who's already got a history of that problem? Like, Shirley's not doing it. She's off in Italy doing nothing, and Tina's doing nothing. Like, give the other Carters a bit of something to do.
But it always has to be
storylines between two characters.
I mean, again, we're going to be attacked properly for this comment, but I think that it's one of those things that maybe the producers and the writers are a bit worried that if we don't have something with the Carters in the stories that people will switch off. And I think people need to have more confidence that we can have a rest from Linda and Mick. We really can, without the program falling apart. Look how strong all the rest of the stories around them are. Even the one with Ben and Martin. I'm really, for me, the
and
Martin
Tubbs. Story.
And Tubbs, of course. Tubbs is the cement that's binding everything together. Martin, these stories that they're getting actors who wouldn't normally do stories new. They're getting these new stories, while Mick and Linda seems to still be this one note.
It's because they're stuck in the pub, I think. I think that's a big issue for this character. But then there's not much else to their characters if they weren't in a pub.
But we've talked about this before, haven't we? We said if Mick and Linda were to lose the pub, do you think that they could really carry on the square?
I mean, after this alleged Linda storyline, they're going to have to leave the pub, surely.
But did Angie leave the pub?
Yes.
No, she didn't though, did she?
Oh yeah, and look what happened to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Dead.
Yeah. So, but again, are they going down the den and the den and?
She's not really like Ange, though, is she? She's not as.
No, she's not as self. I mean, she's quite confident, isn't she? While Angie liked to put on this performance that she was. While Linda's almost the other way around. She is confident, but she likes to put on this performance that she's not. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's kind of like the opposite way round. But
I'm just not here for the Carters or Mitch. I'll stick him in there too.
But it's funny how they've added Mitch as Mick's friend, isn't it? And so it's the one thing that's
how to bring Mick down.
Yeah, how to make him even worse. Let's do this to Mitch. But I mean, people love Mick, and we'll have to see.
The fact, we're talking about NTAs and stuff later, aren't we? I'll talk about.
I'll but that's why I was about to say something, but I decided to keep that. But yeah, keep on listening to the show because we've got some NTA news.
Right, so we're going to go on to part 2 of Top Tumps. No, what's it called? Not
Top
Tumps.
Tubs.
Top Tubs.
Top Tubs.
Who we all want to top. So we'll see part 2 now.
Part 2 of Top Tubs, Top Trumps, but not exactly the same, just in case we don't get sued.
I remember it very well.
And do you remember the score that we ended on? I got 4 rounds, and you only got 1. So I'm beating you 4-1.
Yeah, but we've got part 2 now, so...
We've got 5 more rounds to go.
Points carry over, do they?
Points carry over. If I win 2 more rounds, though, I'm the outright winner. We'll carry on playing for fun, even if I do win. But I'm being quite cocky.
Fun.
But before we start, let me just remind everyone, we're playing a game of Top Trumps, or as we call it, Top Tubs, where we're comparing EastEnders actors and actresses' scores on Strictly Come Dancing. And the 5 categories are position, best score, worst score, aggregate or total score, or the average score. Lots of scores. And one by one, we're choosing which one we want to try to beat the other one with. So it's my turn to start this week.
Okay.
Yes, Ben picked his card. And it was like watching Countdown. You know when they pick the numbers on Countdown?
No, I don't watch that.
You do.
I don't.
And they say 2 from the top and 3 from the bottom. And so she picks the cards and then puts it on the digital number machine.
That's what I'm like. Am I Rachel Riley?
You are Rachel Riley. Rachel Riley also famously did Strictly Come Dancing. But not EastEnders. So it doesn't count. So I have Natalie Cassidy as my next card. Sonia Fowler. And I am going to choose average score.
Oh, I've got Denise Van Elton, who was in like 1 episode of EastEnders.
But who did she play?
Karen Smart. She slept with Max and disappeared.
Who didn't? I slept with Max.
So average score, what's yours? Do I say mine?
Say yours.
My average score is 35.1.
What a bad one for me to pick. 28.2.
Oh dear.
So
She
Ben's...
did well, Denise.
I think she came third, didn't she?
Second, actually.
Very good. It's your turn to pick.
Oh, I've got Kathy Beale. Oh God. All of hers is the same.
Played by Gillian Tailforth, we should say. That's because she went... there's a couple of ones, actually, they all who went out in round one. So think tactfully. Think how you think you could maybe beat me.
Worst score,
Okay.
I'm going to go with,
Yeah?
which is 22.
You've done very well, my friend. I've got Lee Ryan, who played Woody Woodward.
Oh, he went out second week.
He did, and his worst score was 19. So you've won again.
Oh, good.
You're creeping up.
Can't believe Kathy went out straight away.
It was a really bad year, actually. They had about 3 different actors and actresses from EastEnders, and they all went out like right at the beginning. So, sad year. Talking of sad years, Jake Wood, who plays Max Branning.
He did well. He did his little snake hips, didn't he? I remember that.
He did do very well. I'm going to go with... I feel naughty doing this one, but I'm going to go with best score.
What, 10? Well, I've got Ricky Butcher. I don't even know he did it. Sid Owen. Best score is 26 for him.
Oh, I got 38.
Oh,
He
well.
didn't get perfect score. That's interesting. You thought you got 10. Your turn to pick.
I remember watching him on Strictly. Kush Kazemi,
Oh,
played by Davude. I'd like one of his positions, but I'm going to go with total score. Or arrogate, whatever how it's...
aggregate.
Aggregate. Total score.
I've got on my card Anita Dobson, who played the beautiful Angie Watts.
Oh, that's a good one.
Had a bit of a drinking problem, I understand. Her aggregate was 267.
Mine's 334.
Do you know what this means?
Well, this is it. This is the
Well,
pie.
if you
yeah,
if you get this right, that means we've drawn, and there's no contingency for this.
Great.
So it means we're both equal. If I get this right, though, I've won. So you can either draw or nothing at all, Ben. It's all or nothing. I have Tamika Epson. I know, you're right. It isn't there. She played Kim Fox.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go for I'm gonna play a bit tactfully. I'm gonna go for worst score 26.
My worst score. Does that have to be higher than 26?
Yes.
Oh, it's 20. I've got Matt D'Angelo, who played Dino. Very sexy. Worst score 23.
Oh,
So-
that means I've won.
Poor Matt.
I know. He was in it
He
longer
came
than
second as well.
he was in it longer than Tamika.
And she went out like third week, didn't she?
She was 14th. But you know what that means, don't you?
You've won, Jeff.
I've won. I've won the game that I created.
The game of luck.
Not luck. There's
Isn't it?
skill. You have to choose which category to choose.
Oh.
Pick. So there's skill to it.
How are you ever going to make a second edition of this then?
Well, genuinely, I'm now creating a complete set of EastEnders cards.
With photos, I hope.
Well,
There's no photos on these.
Wait, that's because I didn't have time to do them. I came up with this idea, no joke, in my sleep. And I woke up this morning
Wild.
with that's my rock and roll lifestyle. And I woke up and I just thought, oh, I have a great idea. And so yeah, and for time, I did Strictly because that was easy to research quickly.
Mm.
But don't you worry, Ben. Top
Do
tubs.
number of episodes, duffs.
Oh, don't spoil it for
Amount
yourself.
of exits.
Yeah.
Julie's themes.
Number Julia's themes. Don't spoil it for
Jesse
the
Wallace has a
listeners
lot.
and yourself.
That's
Top
true.
Tubs will be returning with a complete and specialised EastEnders set.
And it's nice to know that Tubbs is a top
Yeah,
for Ben Mitchell in prison.
yeah.
It all makes sense.
Lovely, lovely. So let us know if you enjoyed the game. Let us know if you have any suggestions for games yourself. You can always email us or find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the usuals.
All right, let's carry on. I'm doing as many YouTube references as I can this
We
week.
really have, haven't we?
I'm a 30-year-old lady.
Beans and burgers.
We are going on to talk.
We've watched too much YouTube this week.
Very busy this week. We're going to talk about Stuart and Rainie. That's a good hashtag actually for those two. Stewie.
Oh yeah, Stewie.
Yeah.
Hashtag Stewie. Start the trend, everyone.
I meant to do that, and I'm sticking by it. So yeah, we thought maybe we got another shock exit this week. Not just Robbie, but also Rainie.
Would you stop ruining the end of the show, please? We have lots of chat about on the news. Listen to the end of the show. Listen
But
to the
Duncan
news.
Lindsay's news soap letter, which gets sent to everyone's email like every week, it says on there she hasn't left.
No,
So she is still on the show.
But
And she's looking forward to future storylines.
but she might not be on the show though for the maximum 3 months. 1.5 months good behaviour.
And I was so confused with all this this week when it all happened, because there was more Baby Abby stuff which keeps happening every week, where they go back and forth, and to Max, to Kathy, to Rainie, to Stuart, to Kathy again, to Ian.
Kathy
I
still
don't care
wants
about
to...
all that anymore.
No, Kathy still wants to give Rainie a chance though, under supervision.
How many chances does everyone have? 1 minute Max hates her, then he's like tells Kathy to give her a chance, and then Kathy says, I'm going to give her a chance, then Max has a go at her, and then Rainie storms in, someone gets strangled. It's like, it's the same thing with, I hate Baby Abby. She's so annoying.
I know, she's the catalyst of all this.
Annoying, boring strands I don't care about. But it all went off to a better storyline when Rainie took her out for like a go around the park, and she went to go have her drugs in the corner, away from Baby Abby's eyes.
She's dealt drugs in front of Baby Abby.
Oh yeah, those the new Jags.
Yeah.
Jagger came over, but Stuart caught her, and that's where it all sort of fell apart.
And he whacks out of her hand. More powder goes onto Joyce.
I did think that.
Joyce's spirit will all forever be in the radishes.
And high, apparently.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was like reached a new low. She was in the dirt. She chose the drugs over Baby Abby in the end, and that's what made Rainie think, okay, I need help, but in a Rainie way.
Yeah. So instead of going to a council meeting or a therapy session,
or the AA meetings that Stuart keeps taking her to.
Yeah, or just saying to Stuart, I desperately need help. I need help. She just
takes out on poor Kathy.
Well, she smacks Kathy in the face with the police officer stood in front of her. She deliberately called the police. See, this confused...
pre-called her.
Yeah, so she preempted this whole plot. And this really confused me to begin with. And then when people on Twitter started saying, oh no, she's done it on purpose so she gets the help in prison. I thought, oh god, yeah, that's actually quite a clever plan.
It was. I mean, she obviously knew Walford police take a while, so I'll call them 20 minutes before.
Oh, no. I'll phone them in the morning. We'll probably see them later that evening.
Sonia, she takes 8 hours to do a few stitches. Yeah. The police take about 40 minutes to get into Walford.
Yeah, it's the cuts. They got to sell the cars off on eBay, so they all have to walk to these locations.
Well, I love how when Kathy was punched, like, Gillian Tailforth? Gillian Tailforth.
How do you not know the actress?
No, I do know. I didn't know if it was Gillian or not.
What, as opposed to what?
A different pronunciation.
Bob.
Everyone
Bob
takes
Tailforth.
me down on my pronunciations.
We both get in trouble for that.
But like Rainie punched her, and like Rainie was like reactive, and the police were grabbing her, and she was going crazy, and Kathy just stood there like still. It's like, come on, Gillian, do a bit more.
I know she didn't really.
She was a bit wooden.
Yeah, she didn't. She didn't really give it the payoff that it deserved.
It's like she hadn't been hit.
Yeah, it was really undersold.
The Botox absorbed it all. Yeah. Didn't feel a thing.
They should do one of those slow motion videos when Kathy gets smacked in the face and just
nothing moves.
Yeah, that's it. Her whole face just stays like stone, like concrete.
So yeah, I was a bit upset by that, but it's fine. I still love Kathy. I'm still here for Granny Smack, even though she's had a rough few weeks.
But again, you can't be angry because Kathy's getting involved, and that's what you want—a bit of involvement from Kathy.
And I've noticed as well, a lot of her tops, she's wearing like lots of birds on her tops recently. She's about 3 tops she's got with birds on.
Right.
That's interesting for me.
What do you reckon the reference is to?
No. Freedom, like a bird. That's what she feels at the moment.
Freedom from Walford or freedom within Walford?
She's got 3 businesses on the go. She's a free woman.
3? She's got the cafe, she's got Albert's. What's
looking after Ben.
That's a business, is it?
Oh, yeah.
That's true. It's unpaid business.
Drug smuggling to Rainie. That's a business.
That's true.
Granny Smack.
Do you reckon she's...
Babysitting Abby. She does Kathy's deliveries in the cafe.
Can you imagine? Remember, I'm sure everyone can remember, there was the storyline, the Jagger, Evie and Tiff. There's all this drug pushing.
Big story in inverted commas.
It was a big story really for the time and era of EastEnders. And, they didn't really have its payoff really. Jack got stabbed in the shoulder for trying to defend Tiff. So the drugs are still happening. They're happening around the park.
There's an elder somewhere.
What if that elder... It's just one big bluff. When the police visited her and said, there's a drug problem, Kathy, and Kathy's like, I don't know anything about that. I'll have to speak to Tina about it. What if the elder is Kathy Beale?
Hooded elder.
Can you imagine? Maybe that's what the birds signify. I'm high as a kite. I'm high like a bird.
Maybe. No, not our Kathy. She's too pure.
But I would love that. It'd be Breaking Bad standards.
Because she stood up to Stuart, not scared of Stuart. Nothing scares her.
Yeah, she just sat down, had a nice
She got punched in the face, just stood there, didn't move.
Yeah, exactly. She's used to these things. She's used to these clientele coming over saying, you're on my patch.
Yeah,
you're on my patch, actually.
We thought maybe Ben got his bad side from Phil. Mm-hmm. Maybe he actually got it from Kathy. Maybe she's doing the loan sharks as well for Ben.
Maybe she's got the Phil
Top dog.
soft side that we all hear, that, you know, we all remember. Phil was always the softer one out of Grant and Phil.
Yeah.
And
Dancing with Ethel.
And yeah, maybe Kathy is one. Maybe, you know, maybe all these problems that have happened in the Parsons Square, maybe she was the one who shot Den from the flowers.
Maybe she ran the firm.
Quite rightly so.
With Joanne.
Yeah, maybe.
Her and Joanne were lesbian partners.
Yeah. Maybe Johnny Allen and her are much closer than you think. And she's the one who's keeping an eye on Ruby. It all makes sense.
That's why Ruby's back.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
But enough about Granny Smack, because Rainie had her big storyline this week. She went to prison.
Yes.
She got sentenced in like an afternoon.
I think it was a clear-cut case, really, wasn't it? There was witnesses, and one of the witnesses was a police officer.
I mean, 3 months. Martin could have got that for him and Tubbs' little charade on Albert Square.
Very violent.
No one saw. It was really funny, actually, speaking about, even though it's nothing to do with this. When Martin and Tubbs beat those people up, it was like dead. And then when Martin like turned evil and walked around the corner, it was like really busy.
Yeah, really busy scene. And this whole
so
Albert
silly.
Square has been really busy all week.
That
It's
was
been
another thing
lovely to see it.
that annoyed me from that storyline. But Stuart went a bit nutty again because he wanted like to seek revenge on Kathy for a few episodes. And he went like evil, and he did evil looks that he used to do last year.
He smacked a napkin tray onto the table. Everyone
Full
left.
English.
I know. It's funny how like the whole cafe left one by one. It was like the word got round instantly. It's like, don't go to the cafe. There's a drunk madman in there.
It kind of looked like it took Kathy ages to make the breakfast though, because when he ordered it or demanded it, like the cafe was full, and then when she like served it to him, it was empty and it was dark outside.
But again, Kathy is a woman of, you know, she needs to make sure she gets it right. She's a perfectionist, is our Kathy.
Well, she didn't get it right because she missed off the
They
black
didn't
pudding.
have any left. That's not her fault. That's an ordering problem. Again, probably due to Tina.
No, she doesn't work there anymore. You have to blame Marie.
Oh, don't blame Marie. Don't ever blame Marie. If it's anyone's fault, it's Ian's.
Oh yeah, blame him.
But
He was horrible
Kathy,
this week again.
Kathy, she's going to have some kneecaps taken out because their black puddings need to be on the cafe menu that week.
I mean, it's nice. She managed to talk Stuart round because she has her fair share of stupid men in her life. She's married to Pete. She dated Laurie, Eddie Royal, Phil.
No.
She's had all these people in her life. Pete Bill, mainly the biggest issue. Wilmot Brown, but she stood up to them all. She's got rid of them all. So Stuart's just nothing to her.
You're forgetting Sharon's dad.
Oh yeah, Gavin.
Yeah.
Although he did control her for 8 years. Dead.
Yeah,
but then she
dead.
found her courage and came back.
Whilst running around a hotel.
So yeah, Stuart's nothing to her. So she wasn't really scared of him.
No.
And she just used her kind words to talk him round, and in the end offered him a job.
And gave him a job. Is it again? Under what authority?
Yeah, it's her cafe.
I know, but Ian, he kind of.
No, she owns it because she had a go at him once. Remember when he tried to like sell a bit of it? She's
Oh,
like, it's my business.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah,
Slap him down.
Slap him down. What does Ian own then? He owns the fish and chip shop.
What else?
Oh, and Walford East.
Oh yeah, Wolford East.
We co-owns that with Max. Ian really doesn't have the empire anymore, does he?
Yeah, Kathy does. Slowly taking it
Kathy
back.
owns more than him. It's a drug empire. What's happening with Walford?
Queen Kathy.
Mm.
So yeah, she's offered him a job, and because he said like he doesn't feel like he has any need to be this better person who he has been since Kate Oates took over.
Obviously, Kate Oates isn't a character in EastEnders.
Since Kate Oates and John Send became executive producers, they've changed his path and changed his character. So ever since then, because of Rainie, he's felt a bit of pride in himself and being able to be a better person. But now she's gone, what's the point? Kathy didn't want to see him. Samaritan's training kicked in.
Oh yeah, it always kicks in. And she was right though, wasn't she? She said, if I give you a job, it means you've got stability. It means you're staying local. It means that baby Abby can keep seeing you. I want you to build up a base. And I want you to then use that base for
she's out.
Good, yeah.
The Nick.
I mean, Rainie has so many. It's like she's always on and off the drugs, isn't she? And I mean,
this plan was silly. The fact that she basically wanted to get arrested to try and get off drugs. It's like, Rainie, you do know there's probably more drugs in prison.
But that's what Stuart said to her, though.
Yeah, and then her excuse was like, well, I need to do it myself. It's like, well, do it yourself, not in prison.
Yeah, no, true.
It's really weird. It doesn't really make sense. It's kind of just another, I need a 3-month break.
I mean, she has
Here's
been
the storyline.
committed to the soap, to be fair to the actress. So I think she deserves a little break from the soap. But
it still doesn't make sense.
No, I mean, I don't think Rainie's going to come back clean.
She'll come back worse.
I don't think she'll come back worse. I think she'll come back still pulling the wool over Stuart's eyes.
She might come back with a prison mate. Both got released at the same time. I've offered her a house.
I've got a feeling that Stuart, their relationship started with Stuart being quite violent toward Rainie. Just never forget he dug his nails into her.
It was really weird.
Yeah, I think it's going to somehow go full circle. I think it's going to end with Stuart being quite violent toward Rainie, because I think Rainie will push him so far.
Disappoint him too much.
Because you could tell that he genuinely loved Rainie, and he wanted to make sure she was okay, and that he was so hurt when she got given a 3-month sentence that he just didn't know what to do with himself. And I think, as you said, Kathy put him on that straight path.
No, that's not going to last. Him in the cafe.
But I don't think it'll be his fault. I think it'll be Rainie's fault for why that path doesn't stay that way.
I can see him being disappointed by Rainie too much, and she'll push him too much, and he'll snap into old Stuart and have a bad end.
Yeah, same. Because so many people have let him down, haven't they? And I think that just Rainie will be another one added to his checklist of people who have just let him down. And I think it's going to take only so much for Stuart to crack. So I think you're right. I think that we're meant to believe that Stuart's on this righteous path, but I think there's a long game going on.
No, I don't want righteous Stuart.
No,
he was starting to bore me. Like up till last week.
But I'm confident that there is. I just think that they're deliberately trying to make you kind of not make Stuart forgettable necessarily, but make you trust him again. Yeah. So that and that's what you want to do to the viewer. You want to suck them in so much that when something
he'll snap suddenly.
Yeah, and you'll be like, oh no, this is a character I've actually invested in and I love, and now you're doing this to me. You're breaking him away from me again. So yes, I'm excited about what they're planning with Stuart, and with Rainie on tow. I think it's going to be really good. I've said this.
And Kathy,
and of course Kathy. I think Kathy will be the one encouraging it. Kathy will be the one the whipping.
As long as she doesn't get hurt, we're all right.
Yeah, she'll be all right, Kathy.
So our last
face of steel.
Our last storyline we're talking about this week is like the short Big Mo storyline. Big Mo's got a storyline.
Yeah, with Kush, no less. Yeah.
Deciding to fix a freezer in his vest. Do you want to talk about that for a bit?
Well, we can do.
Why is he in a vest fixing a freezer?
Hot work, difficult.
In a freezer.
Yeah. Maybe the shirt he was wearing was like getting all tied up in the little nooks and crannies, so he needed to get like a bare wrist so he can get his hand right in.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Not talking about Big Mo, obviously. I'm talking about the fridge freezer.
She was sucking on lollipops while looking at.
She was really suggestively. I mean, but I do love the combo of Mo and Kush. I mean, when they live together,
he just puts up with her like sexual abuse, and it's fine.
And she just gets on. She does it. She just does it.
She's a 90-year-old woman. She's doing what she wants.
Why not? Why not? Indeed.
But yeah, there's like mounting bills and letters that Big Mo's kept hidden for everyone, and Kush keeps coming across them, and he like looks at like this advert for loaning money. So I don't know, is he going to end up loaning money from Ben, and then he's not going to pay it back, and then Ben's going to get Martin to get money from Kush, and they're going to cause a ruffus between them again? That's what I have in my waters.
You can feel it rumbling in your tummy. Yeah.
So I rolled my eyes at that, if that does happen. But also, the most exciting news is the letter that Big Mo had, which causes lots of questions for us all.
Well, unless we're very, very wrong, there's been no signs to show that house has been sold to anyone other than the person who originally owned it, from Nanny Pat.
Yeah, Pat left it to Janine, Stacey's arch nemesis.
And so Janine technically still owns that house. Like I said, flat, didn't I? It's not flat, it's a house. It's a very big house. It had about 1,500 people in there at one point. And
Mo's had a letter saying the landlord is selling up. We gave you notice. You've not responded. You have 2 months and you're out. The letter says. So about November, December time, they need to be out of that house.
Christmas, some might say.
And it's interesting. Like Tiff doesn't live there anymore. Or Whitney. They were the links to Janine.
Yeah.
So was Janine keeping them? Her family wasn't her family, but now her family are out. She hates the Slaters. She hates Stacey.
It's the Slaters, isn't it? She hates the Slaters.
Get them out. Sell up.
But does this also mean that we might see Janine?
Well, yes, I'm wondering.
That's the gossip, isn't it, round the old water cooler? So, do you think that Janine will make a return?
Even if it's not for like ages, like she could be selling her assets to buy E20. Like she could be pushing drugs in what with
Kathy?
Albert.
She's in cahoots with Kathy. I mean, but she might be selling her assets because she's desperate for money. So, are we going to see this desperate Janine appear?
Oh, Janine's not going to be desperate for money. No. She's like a millionaire, isn't she? Because she's inherited so many men's fortunes and her nan's fortune and the house
and Frank's
fortune. She's all right.
Yeah,
but it is interesting that they've done this. And someone asked on Twitter, need confirmation is Janine. I hope they haven't forgotten Janine was the landlady. And the writer replied saying, we haven't forgotten anything. So Janine's still the landlady. Whether it leads to a storyline or not, or what the reason is that they're getting this family, because it's going to be a lot of characters that are going to need to find new homes.
Well, no, only really the Slaters, because you said yourself
And
a lot
Martin, Stacey, Kat, Kush.
Yeah, the Slaters. Just that's all it is, isn't it? Really,
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 kids.
Oh yes, of course that. But they could live in a flat and they'd still. The Slaters it was the clown house. We used to joke and say that house was the clown house. They could move into a little flat and it would still be enough for the family to all move in.
I mean, Jean and Big Mo can move in. Ted's flat's empty.
Yeah.
Mel's flat house soon to be empty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there you go. There's a big enough house for.
But we've got
Martin
the Panesar brothers.
Stacey.
They need somewhere to live.
Well, they'll live in the Masood's house.
Will they?
The Ahmed's house, sorry, I should say.
Robbie's not there, so Habiba can live there with Ikra.
Yeah, in the flat, which is Robbie's flat. But in the house, though, I would imagine the Pincer brothers would. It's not it's the Pencer brothers. Pencer brothers.
But yeah, it's just what are they doing with this storyline? Obviously, it's nice that Big Mo has a storyline. Is she going to go to Pat's grave and yell at her?
Yeah, it'll be all Pat's fault, won't it? It will definitely be hers.
I wonder what Pat would think now, knowing that Big Mo's living in her house. She'll be spinning.
Oh no, she wouldn't mind. They were on good terms by the time she died.
Well, Nemesis is.
Nemesis.
Yeah.
If you're going to go plural, go do it right.
The last thing Big Mo said to Pat was, keep your chin up, all 4 of them.
Yeah, but it was done in an affectionate way, wasn't it? At the end of the day. It's not like when they first met, when Mo was coming to the square and they were shouting, slagging each other off across the square.
That's so good. I used to love Big Mo, but she's not used anymore. But it's nice that she's got a storyline again, but mounting debts.
You were saying, but you were saying about Janine returning, being very rich and something or other. Do you reckon it might be her turn to be the landlady, the Vic?
Oh, yeah. She'd have to have a family unit though in the Vic.
Well, she probably would.
She's got a daughter now, hasn't she? Scarlett.
Yeah.
She must be like 14, 15 now.
She needs a young daughter as well, I think. I'd like to see a kind of like a Pat Frank setup in the Vic
with a few kids from someone else.
Yeah, they need a younger family. I would say younger, but with younger kids in the Vic. I think it just works a bit more better when
bring Ricky back and Tiff can live with him, and then Tiff can be friends with the Vic people.
Yeah, but when there's younger kids in this mix, I think it works a bit better in the Vic. I think when it's just 2 people plus their extended family, it's you're stretching it a bit thin.
Yeah, we can all wish, but nothing's been confirmed, I'm afraid. But we'll take a letter which just says landlord on it as Ginny.
Yeah,
and we'll run with it.
The spirit of Janine.
As much as we can.
Yeah, why not? So
there you go. That was the week's roundup.
Ooh, so we've dropped into it a couple of times. Should we do a bit of news and a few comments on Twitter and who won the week?
Yeah, we always do.
You know me, I ain't one to gossip.
Yes, it's the final part of the show where we're introduced by Dot to talk about some gossip from the square and some bits and pieces. But first of all, before we do any of that, we find out what happened this time last year or a few years back in a section that's been widely copied. That is, we talk about a story that's been aired this time a few years back.
Not going to do it again. It's the last time ever.
Oh, you will. We love this section. And it's also birthdays and deaths.
It is lots of birthdays, 1 death. So we're going to go through them quick. 18th October 1976, we had Ada Ferreira.
Oh, the Ferreiras.
Move on from her, shall we?
I think we should.
18th October, same day, 1978. Now this is very sad, very ill times. Robbie Jackson's birthday.
We'll find out what's going to happen
in India.
Yeah, well, he's having fun in India, but not having such fun over here.
So yeah, no one celebrated that. Not even Sonia.
Sonia's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, that's true. 14th of October 1980 was Teresa DeMarco.
Oh, the DeMarco. Oh my God, the Ferreiras and the DeMarcos.
Dark times. Speaking of her just now, 18th October 1983, Janine Butcher shares a birthday with Robbie.
That's not good.
So yeah, it's her birthday, so, selling up the house.
It's funny, they're like nice chalk and cheese, aren't they, Robbie and...
Different years, but same days.
Yeah, but if you're into like star signs and bits and pieces like that, you'd think they'd be very similar personalities.
But yeah, maybe she was selling her house, just want a bit of a birthday present.
Yeah. By boat.
Destroy the Slaters' lives. What more could I want?
Yeah, that's a good birthday present for Janine.
Ruby Allen had a birthday, 20th of October 1988.
Oh dear.
Same age as me. How exciting.
That's really nice, but Max
So
didn't seem to
similar.
care.
No, she had 2 lines this week, so that was good. Didn't even talk about Ruby, did we?
And one of the lines, she ruined Ikra's life. We forgot to mention,
Oh,
Ikra
yeah.
wanted to visit Ash's parents and Ash wasn't so keen.
Oh yeah, my family are really bad. ... Wonder who they could be. 3 brothers.
Who knows?
16th of October 2017, Hope Fowler was born. So Martin is in all this ruckus with Ben. He can't even go celebrate Hope's birthday with Stacey.
He doesn't even phone Stacey to wish her a happy birthday. So he's forgotten 2 of his daughters.
I know. And the one death, which is the same day as Ruby Allen's birthday, 20th of October 2006, her dad died, Johnny Allen.
Yeah, same day. I remember it
What
well.
a birthday that was.
Mm.
No, that's probably why she doesn't celebrate her birthdays.
Oh, that's true.
Memories.
That's true. It's very upsetting.
So the episode I watched this week was a bit of a boring episode. 17th of October 2013. Whitney was starting a brand new career opportunity. Not designing clothes. She's going to be a teaching assistant.
She really is the jack of many trades, master of none, isn't she?
She was wearing a really rubbish black suit and she looked awful. And she walks in. Sharon is doing school drop off for Denny.
Oh, the one and only time she ever did.
And she sees Whitney going to her first date. Whitney's nervous, a bit worried, not sure she's going to do well.
Oh, I'm sure she gave some support. I'm sure Sharon was very supportive.
She said she's not going to last long at this.
Yeah, that sounds like Sharon.
Speaking of supportive mum, her son Dennis was bullying Morgan in the playground,
Oh, Denny.
trying to steal his ice cream. So Tiff, big sister Tiff, goes up and tries to sort Dennis out, and Whitney interrupts and takes sides. So the teacher has a word with her and was like, "You can't do that in this job, Whitney." So that was the moral of that story. We had Ronnie.
I feel there's no moral to that story.
It was not a good episode, but I watched it anyway. Ronnie had broken up with Jack over something, I don't know what, and he's left the square for good.
More's pity.
And Phil is cutting Ronnie out of his life. She's not allowed in the Mitchell house. He's in the Vic with Lola and Billy, and Ronnie walks in and they all look at her and she's not allowed to be in. Very similar, isn't it?
It
what
sounds
we've had
very
recently
similar,
with Mel.
yeah.
Sharon sees her at not E20, but E20, and she's like, "You need to go for good so I can run the club." So it literally is Mel's current storyline. This is.
Wasn't it called R&R? So Ronnie and Roxy.
Yeah,
so,
probably.
so Sharon's trying to take it. Yeah.
I'm gonna call it Sharon.
S&S, Sharon's and Sharon.
Sexy Sharon.
Yeah, sexy Sharon. Lovely.
But luckily, Carl White is trying to double cross Phil Mitchell and get Ronnie on side, but Ronnie goes against Carl in front of Phil. So Phil goes, "Ronnie, you get out of here," in the Vic, and he goes, "And come to the Mitchell house."
Yeah.
She's like, "Really?" It's
God.
for God's sake. So he accepts her back in with open arms because she's a Mitchell and she stood up for the Mitchells.
Doesn't take much, does it, for Phil to forgive you? Look at Ben. He's been forgiven about 5 times.
So yeah, well, not a very good episode, but it was what it was.
Oh, okay. Well, I enjoyed it, from what I heard.
Yes, well.
Maybe a better episode next week.
Janine was also running an estate agent's. Very topical.
Oh, I remember that.
Billy worked for her and she was treating him like Mel treats Billy at E20.
Oh, poor Billy. He gets treated.
He was just sweeping. That was it.
Oh, poor Billy. I feel sorry for Billy.
No, he's
but
an
then I
idiot.
remember he's Billy and then I don't. So that was who won that week. But who won this week? There were 4 stories up to vote. There was
Ooh, which ones?
Tegan Says I Do.
Yeah, that's good.
Mhm.
That's sweet.
Yeah, yeah. Very
Nice
good.
bathrobes.
They were nice. I was just more impressed by the food that was on offer.
Mm.
Looked lovely. Stuart's Reign of Pain.
Yeah, it's alright.
Oh, right, okay. Martin Snaps! Exclamation mark.
No, I don't like that. Boo. Apart from Martin's broodiness. That's good.
Did you notice, I was meant to say to you, did you notice he's changed his jacket from his market seller's fluffy
He's
camel
wearing-
jacket to a leather hooded jacket?
The one that Keanu wore that week when he came back all dark and
Yeah,
evil that week.
But
Same
you-
outfit.
But you knew it was going to happen because when he was first introduced 2 weeks ago and he was looking over the square at Ben, he was wearing the hooded leather jacket. So,
Max used to wear that as well, didn't he, when he was being evil?
yeah. It's I think the code for evil, isn't it? The dress code for evil. Wear your best leather black jacket hooded.
Hood up.
Yeah, hood up. The last story was Whitney's new Leo. So do you get it? So new low. Leo.
Oh, low, right, yeah.
So who do you think won the week out of those 4 stories? By the way you're rolling your eyes, I don't think you care that much.
I think it's going to be Martin and Ben, but it shouldn't be.
Martin and Ben?
Oh, Martin. Is it Martin?
Yeah,
that
Martin
storyline,
Snaps.
yeah.
It was Martin Snaps.
Of course it was.
42% of the vote.
It's too sexy.
They really was. It was just
Ben
so much
Tubbs,
sexiness.
Martin.
I was going to say it was a trifecta of sex. Tegan Say I Do came second, which surprised me because it got quite a bit of hate on our social medias, which I shall read to you in a minute.
Ooh.
27% of the vote. Stuart's Reign of Pain was third with 20%, and Whitney's New Leo got 11% of the vote.
That's not very good.
I was surprised by that because I quite like that story. I think it's
It mainly
intriguing.
kicked off in like the last 5 minutes, I guess. So
True. It's Friday after evenings, right at the end, so you're quite right. Thank you for everyone who voted. You can vote always on our Twitter, Instagram, and our Facebook page. The vote always goes up when the Friday episode starts to air, and then you have an hour to vote by the time we read them out. Before we do any of the tweet comments and Facebook comments we've had this week, a couple of news stories.
Ooh.
First of all, the long list for the National Television Awards came out this week.
Oh yeah, I voted.
Good. Well, obviously, Best Serial Drama, EastEnders was one of the participants, as well as Coronation Street, Doctors, Emmerdale, Hollyoaks, Home and Away, and Neighbours. You voted for Hollyoaks, if I memory serves me right.
Almost.
Your finger was twitching, wasn't it?
I'm enjoying Hollyoaks at the moment. Watch out for a new podcast, just by me, hosted by myself.
You just do it to yourself in the toilet.
With Tubbs.
With Tubbs, yeah. And Best Serial Drama Performance, there's 6 shout-outs from EastEnders. There's Danny Dyer, obviously.
Best Performance. He hasn't had any performances this year.
I know, but every time it's a public vote, Danny Dyer is going to end up winning it.
Yes, wow.
James Bye, Sexy Martin.
Ooh, sexiest male.
Yeah. Kelly Bright.
Sexiest female.
Yeah,
Kelly Bright's not had anything either. Why is she nominated?
Danny Dyer, Kelly Bright, they one and the other, aren't they? They're
what, but Jean isn't?
No, I agree with you entirely. Don't get me wrong.
Or Kathy.
Well, to be fair, Kathy has done more.
Yeah.
There's been... okay, I'm being maybe biased toward other actors, but... I'm not being biased toward any actors at all. They're all from EastEnders. But I do think there are stronger actors out there.
Rainie?
Yeah, yeah. Stuart has been good. Stuart even retweeted it. His name, Ricky Champ retweeted it and said, congratulations, good luck with everyone. And it was like, well, you deserved a chance too. It's the long list. He deserves a chance. Anyway, Shona McCarthy was also on there, as was Zach Morris. However, the one that I want everyone to vote for, and we have to rally for this, is Ms. Letitia Dean.
Wasn't she on the long list last year, though, as well?
She made it to the shortlist. Oh. Yeah, last year. And we really thought that she was going to make it, and she didn't. So we need to get her to the shortlist, and then this is when the campaign is going to start bulldozing itself, and we need to get hashtags out.
She can beat Danny.
If she beat Danny, she needs to beat everyone else. We need Letitia Dean. I want to see this video, pre-recorded, of her holding the National Television Awards, slightly drunk.
Thank you, everyone, for my award.
Yeah. On a pre-recorded video with a fluffy dressing gown and a fluffy...
Sadly, I couldn't make it tonight.
Yeah, I've got something else that needed doing, which was pressing. So yes, so there we go. Another story was EastEnders star Dean Gaffney has been axed from EastEnders after he had some sexy snaps sent to him.
Is that official now? I think Duncan Lindsay's newsletter said he was let go for various reasons.
Well, the Daily Star reported that Gaffney had been on a Spanish retreat last week, which he used to reflect on him basically contacting a woman online to ask for boob and bum pics on the dating app Bumble.
The interview that woman gave, it was months ago this happened, so I'm surprised it's taken this long. But the interview that she gave is really funny, because at the end of it she goes, to be honest, I was quite disappointed. I would have rather had it from someone else.
Oh no, poor Dean Gaffney.
So that's like a double slap.
It really is. I mean...
Would have rather had it from Tubbs.
Well, probably Billy, to be fair. Poor Dean Gaffney. He's had a really rough time. Like, his return to the soap really wasn't that overwhelming. It was
he had a good run. He's been back since 2017, so you can't complain.
It was very much a knee-jerk reaction. I think that they thought that by bringing Robbie back, it might pull in some people.
Well, Sean O'Connor won that.
So anyway, but as we say, it's not been confirmed that it's the reason he's been axed, because there have been other actors who have done bad stuff online and haven't been axed.
Yeah, Letitia Dean.
Yeah, you drunk cow. So yeah, we should wait. But anyway, he's no longer. So he's leaving to go to India to see if his son's okay. Is probably going to be a bit more permanent than we first.
But the door's been left open.
Of course, it has. The door's been left open for me, Ben. I can just walk in whenever I want. So a few comments then, quickly before we sign off the show. On Twitter, at HASUNAH or Hazuna says, show took a serious nosedive the moment they started this Ben and Martin plot. I think you'd agree with her.
I hear you, sister.
Snaps your fingers and wiggles your head. At Postmodern Sleaze says...
That's me.
says, I don't buy the Keegan and Tiffany marriage stuff. I think them sleeping together for the first time was enough. Jumping from that to getting engaged was far too fast to be plausible.
It's because it was Keegan's first time and he was all lightheaded. That's why.
Yeah,
he was all lightheaded
giddy.
And giddy on burgers and fluffy
testosterone
pillows
and love.
All sorts of things in the bed.
All the blood rushed from his head. At Ryan Montague 16 says it was good, better than what Emmerdale and Corrie are churning out at the moment. I just thought I'd do it.
But not Hollyoaks.
Certainly not Hollyoaks.
Yeah, Corrie's awful. Although I want to watch it next week when someone dies. But I won't say who, in case it's a spoiler.
Spoilers. On Facebook, Catherine Cardoz, I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, said about Tiff and Keegan, there's a feeling of it's too perfect, it's going to go wrong. Tony's son might be a source of trouble.
Whose son?
Tony's son.
Who's Tony?
Leo.
Oh, Leo. Yeah. Wait, do you think he's going to break up Tiff and Keegan? I think it'll be Gray who does something.
Well, Tiff
gets all jealous.
Tiff has spurred him on a little bit. Tiff was the first one to knock him. Callum's the second. Yeah. So, one by one, he's getting knocked down a peg or two. And Melanie Williams on Facebook said, I actually feel sorry for Stuart. His problem is that he loves too hard. This is why he went mad when Mick, Linda and Callum and his daughter rejected him. He has attachment difficulties.
Maybe he shouldn't be so weird then.
There you go. There's your solution there. Don't be so weird. After an episode when they said, be yourself, be your true self, Ben says, don't be too weird.
Only Stuart.
Yeah. So get in touch with us. You can get in touch with us on Twitter at EastEnders Week or Instagram by looking at EastEnders Weekly Podcast. You can go to our Facebook group, just search EastEnders Weekly Podcast and click to join. If you want to email us, and we do love getting your emails, email eastendersweekly@gmail.com. You can also find our YouTube channel where we do weekly spoilers every Tuesday.
Yes, we do.
By, again, searching EastEnders Weekly Podcast on YouTube. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please don't forget to rate us and give us a comment to say what you like about the show, if indeed there is something you like about the show. I hope
Tell
there
us who
is.
your favourite ever character is ever.
Yeah, and say also who you prefer, Ben or me. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You can do that if you want.
Okay, whatever. And you can also listen to our podcast on your favourite podcast app. That includes Spotify and Podbean.
But not BBC Sounds.
We
ain't official.
We're officially unofficial. Just to make that clear one last time. And thank you for listening. That's been another week roundup of EastEnders.
It has. Lovely. I'm off to watch Hollyoaks now.
I'm off to see The Circle.
Ooh.
I wonder who's won.